Refinancing decisions don't reduce debt, they extend it.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are excited to welcome you to episode 740 of Life's Inside Track. And I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tools, tactics, and some truths that we all need, we all deserve, you, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we build wealth wisely through real estate.
Yes. I love this show, Yetta.
Well, do you love this show if you're listening or if you're watching?
Well, they don't know yet.
Well, I'm hoping they're going to love the show as much as Ken loves the show.
Yeah.
So refinancing, it creates relief.
Yeah, let's talk about the two types of refinancing.
Okay.
Because there's refinancing where you roll in a bunch of other debts.
And that creates relief?
Yes. But it doesn't reduce debt.
No.
It just extends it over a longer period of time and maybe gives you some payment relief. We know all about that. We did it 3 times before we smartened up in our spending habits.
Correct.
So there's that refinancing. But then it's still considered refinancing when you renew.
Right.
Okay. And maybe you go to another lender, maybe you stay with the lender you're with, but you're refinancing the mortgage on your property. We're not rolling in a bunch of other stuff. Right.
We're just talking about straight on time to renew our mortgage. Because in Canada, and you're probably aware of this if you own a home or if you're thinking about owning a home, it's a good thing to be aware of if you're not already. And that is, in Canada, we have amortization periods.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how long, if we kept making that payment at the same interest rate, would it take to pay off the mortgage? And then we have our term. For how long are we committed to that particular loan structure?
Right.
And amount.
Mm-hmm. We're
Right?
going to get into deeper details on that in a future segment. Yeah.
Absolutely. And right now we need to differentiate those because this is where the trick, I'm going to call it a trick.
Okay.
That sounds like relief. So even if the interest rate comes up, somebody we work with said recently they were so delighted that although their interest rate was higher than it used to be, and they were a little concerned about that, and yet it was a temporary concern because their payment was lower. And right away, Ken said, that don't make no sense.
That math doesn't make sense.
Math, and she hadn't figured out the math didn't make sense. Because a professional at the bank told her this was the math. And so she was relieved and delighted and thrilled. And yet what had happened is the bank, by their own choice, simply extended out her amortization.
Mm-hmm.
Extended
in the renewal documents.
In the renewal documents. So it was in print. But when you know what's there, you don't necessarily see what's there. Or when you think you know what's there. So she had no thought that the bank would take it upon their own volition, I'm going to call it, to actually extend out her amortization, which then reduced her payment, although her interest rate was higher.
Yeah, because, she did her mortgage. She's been in the house for, oh goodness, I think close to 15 years.
Right.
So there should be about 10 years left if she took a 25-year mortgage and didn't accelerate it, right?
Right.
And so the mortgage is not huge at this point. And it's, she had renewed earlier, closer to COVID season when interest rates were low. And now they were, higher, probably like 2%, almost double. Because she went from 2 to 4.
Right.
So almost double. And yet she was amazed that her payment was less. And I said, whoa, the payment's less because they've extended your amortization again. Whether they took it from 10 and put it back out to 15 or put it out to 20 years, I'm not sure. I didn't see her actual paperwork. But we did this all the time, whether it's in banking or cars or whatever it is. If you're stuck on payment, payment's important. But if you're stuck on payment, they will move things around. They will charge you a higher interest rate because they put it on a longer amortization and your payment's still lower. So you don't question the interest rate that maybe you could have got another 0.25% off of that interest rate.
Right.
Because you don't care because, oh, look, the payment's low.
So bottom line here is don't just take what you're given from the financial institution as accurate. I mean, it's accurate in terms of how they chose to do it. It may not be what you are looking to have happen.
Yeah, it's beneficial to the lender, not beneficial to the borrower.
Right.
You always got to look at it with that lens. And same thing if you're going to do a consolidation, right? And consolidation loans are basically, oh, my line of credit got rolled in and it's at slightly higher interest rate and it's gone up because I paid off my car, or I paid off my Skidoo, or I paid off my Visa because it climbed and now my Visa's high again, or my MasterCard, or both. And so now we got to roll this all into the mortgage for this nice, easy payment because we love easy payments.
We do.
We love
I
affordability.
love easy payments and affordability. I think most of us do. We don't want to put ourselves under undue stress. And yet when we don't understand, I think this whole year we've talked a lot about misunderstandings, and not understanding is costing tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. There is math. For me, I know I'm supposed to say math is fun because money is math and therefore math is fun. And yet I don't enjoy math. And yet this kind of math, I had to find a way to find enjoyable because otherwise others told me what my math should be and therefore how my money should be managed.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Absolutely. And so really studying this stuff juices me. And if you want me to look at your stuff, just book a clarity call with me, right? For 15 minutes. Go onto the website, dekkerteam.com, click on clarity call appointment, book a call, and I'd be delighted to, just talk with you. We can do it over Zoom or we can do it on the phone. Either way will work great. Now, one caveat, because sometimes longer amortization and lower payment is okay, like on an investment property where you're working to get cash flow, or you're working for different reasons and the interest is tax deductible. So things change depending on what you're talking about.
Right. We just don't want to make a blanket statement. The reason we've been doing kind of some of the marketing and sensationalized statements that are out there right now is because we want a wake-up call for us and a wake-up call for you, because if we're not watching it, it's still impacting us. Yeah. Just because I'm not paying attention to it or I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not negatively affecting me or affecting you.
Absolutely. And the Bank of Canada says that research shows most households who refinanced during rate changes extended their amortizations, increasing the total interest that they were going to pay over the time period, right? Because they've extended out longer, but their payments dropped. So many people are doing this.
And sometimes they're doing it without even explicit expression that I want to do this.
Yeah.
It's just happening. So I think it's kind of funny. It's kind of irony that the Bank of Canada is where this stat is coming from.
Yeah. Benjamin Franklin said, beware of little expenses because a small leak will sink a great ship. And we're glad that we're helping you build wealth wisely through real estate, because being wealthy is about much more than just money.
And next, we're going to look at another belief that is probably causing grief.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward